Welcome to Punks Talk Wrestling! On this episode, we give our thoughts on the enormity of Wrestlemania weekend as we run down NXT Stand and Deliver, both nights of Wrestlemania, and we look ahead to our Season 2! I am RW Hellborn, the PA Rock Prince, hailing quote-unquote from Philly! And I am one half of the crown. That's the crown that is always on top, which is one half of your Punks Talk Wrestling Inter-Universal Tag Team Podcast Champion hosts of the world! Now, then, and forever by my side, 3,500 miles away in London, England, he is my tag team podcast partner. He is the other half of the crown, which is always on top as your Punks Talk Wrestling Inter-Universal Tag Team Podcast Champion host of the world, Mr. Did You Know, Sir King of Reels, the proper prick, CJ Newman!
Season 2, here we go. Did you know that in total there have been 403 matches held at Wrestlemania?
What? Wait, what?
What?
What happened? Sorry, I passed out there for a second.
Oh, you good? You back? You back in the room?
Whew, I got lightheaded there. Started seeing stars.
Jesus Christ!
Started seeing like the glistening of
it's a
bright lights.
Did you know that in total there have been 403 matches held at WrestleMania?
403.
403 involving 443 different superstars.
Name all of them in 30 seconds.
103 of those are now Hall of Famers. But how many world title matches, be it WWE, Universal, or World Heavyweight Championship, how many world championship title matches have there been? Three guesses.
In all of WrestleMania?
Every WrestleMania, yeah. Just world championship matches. Give you three
Between
guesses.
world...
Any world title. WWE Championship, yeah. World Heavyweight Championship, ECW Championship.
Oh, ECW, including ECW championships.
World championships.
Yeah. Well, that is totally a legitimate world championship in the WWE hierarchy and history.
So
WWE ECW title, one of the most beautiful looking titles on display at WWE World this past year. That we were so lucky to be a part of. Oh yeah, that man. Remember that? I mean, let's talk about that title for a moment. Let's just give the WWE ECW World Heavyweight Championship.
Even though we spoke about this championship like 2 weeks ago.
I know, and I want to talk about it again. I love it so much.
I will say,
I
gave it some shit like 2 weeks ago, but after seeing it in person, I'm like, it was all right.
It looks. I mean, when you just look at the title itself, as a title design, it is a good looking belt.
It gets better the more you look at it.
Yeah, just like us, just like this podcast. It gets better the more you listen.
Where's your damn guesses?
63.
No, you're wrong.
52.
No. Careful. You only got one left.
46.
No. There's only been 40 WrestleManias. Most WrestleManias have had 2 world title matches.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's been 40 WrestleManias. Some of them have had 2, but not every one of them has had.
Yeah, but if you think that the last 20 have had 2, that already brings you up to 40 with just the last 20.
Okay, so I got 3 more guesses. 79.
No.
64.
No.
And 103.
Right, no. It's 83.
83 was going to be my 7th guess if you would have given me...
and I'm going to only give you one guess for this one.
73?
No. Hold on. How many of those In how many of those 83 matches
83.
was a new champion crowned?
46.
Oh, 47.
47, dude. That was pretty close.
So close.
That was close.
It's about nearly around a 50% success rate for a world championship match at WrestleMania.
Look
basically.
at that. Now, this also includes? This includes you're including the cash-ins as matches too.
I guess you would, yeah,
because
yeah,
they're technically a new match, yeah. So that bumps it up a little bit. 83 and 47.
Yeah.
Well, that's more. I mean, that's more than 50%.
Well, it is just over 50%. Yeah. But
the odds are in your favor. The odds are in your favor.
Ever so slightly in your favor.
Ever so slightly in your favor. It's like a death saving throw in D&D. It's like slightly in your favor. Slightly in your flavor. # slightly in your flavor. There you go.
There you go.
So come in the underdog,
Yeah.
No, don't # come in the underdog. That.
Oh my God.
That's it. Okay, that's it. We're done.
We're done.
You know what?
All right.
How's about you know what? How's about we talk about the WrestleMania card? I mean, fuck. WrestleMania and NXT. Do we want to? I mean.
Ah, fuck. We'll be here all day. God damn. Well, I got loads of numbers for you. All right, so WrestleMania 40th annual WrestleMania. First WrestleMania to be held in Pennsylvania since 1999, WrestleMania 15, which we reviewed a bunch of episodes ago.
Yeah, just randomly.
Yeah, exactly. April 6th and 7th from the Lincoln Financial Field. Night 1 attendance of 72,543 and night 2 attendance of 72,755, giving us a grand total of a combined 145,298. And if you add together the SmackDown, NXT, Hall of Fame, and Raw, the combined total, I haven't got the exact amount, but the near enough combined total of every event that happened for the WWE in Philadelphia was 201,000 people over WrestleMania weekend. 201,000 tickets sold.
Yeah.
Which is, again, record-breaking.
Yep.
We had... as I said, I got more numbers for you. We had 145,298 was the attendance for WrestleMania 40 over the 2 nights, which breaks the gate record, which was set by last year's WrestleMania by 78%.
Oh, damn!
Fucking wild. WrestleMania 40 viewership rose 41% over last year. Last year's WrestleMania was the most viewed WrestleMania of all time, and this year outbeat it by 41%.
Fuck,
so
dude.
Even more. Merchandise sales were up 20%. Last year, WrestleMania 39 was the record setter. This year's WrestleMania beat it by 20%.
Oh, yeah, looking and seeing what we saw at
WWE
World and that shop, that was
no surprise.
Dude, that was like, yeah.
That's a first of its kind. I know they've done Access before, but WWE World was a completely different ball game.
Yeah.
And it was a whole different experience. So we can get into that later.
Yeah.
The event drew 660 million social media views within the first 48 hours. And WWE's YouTube channel gained 67 million views in its first 24 hours.
Jeez.
Which is the most viewed day in the channel's history. Basically, this event, this whole weekend, broke every single record the WWE had as a company. This event broke every single record they had.
Philly, baby!
That's right.
I mean,
it's
come
Philly,
on.
And it's Philly, and it's a sign of
it's Philly.
The product being the best it's been in 20, 25 years.
It's Philly.
Pretty much.
It's all Philly. Philadelphia. Philadelphia. I as hailing quote unquote from Philly, I will I will accept the awards on behalf of my city that I claim to be hailing, quote unquote, from.
Philadelphians.
Thank you for this WWE Universe. Thank you Triple H. Thank you Rock, everybody, TKO. Thank you 2K Games for especially for your access. There's so many people that we could thank, but
there are many
mostly ourselves.
And one more number as well. I mean, NXT, we're in this brand new era of it. Well, it's like maybe the fourth iteration of NXT at this point. And obviously, as we know, the takeover years of NXT were its biggest years. But this NXT was the highest attended NXT show of all time, and that was 16,545 people. So NXT seen a bit of a comeback as well.
Yeah, I mean, I know we said we weren't going to talk about it, but we're going to talk about it right now, real quick. Let's just run down that card real quick.
All right, cool.
We had the hosts of NXT, the Metaphor, Noam Dar, Ora Mensch, Lash Legend, and Jakara Jackson. They've been doing fucking great. I love all of them.
Yeah, that's been cool.
Vic Joseph, Booker T, Wade Barrett. We've got to give them credit for their amazing work. Spanish commentators, Marcelo Rodriguez and Jerry Soto. Again, they're fucking everywhere all the time.
They're everywhere. They commentated every single show.
They commentate. Yeah, exactly. They called every match.
They did.
Marcelo Rodriguez and Jerry Soto, I think, called every match this weekend.
Yeah, the whole weekend. Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Night 1, Night 2, Wrestlemania. They did it all.
Yeah.
They did it all.
Fucking
That's wild.
Phenomenal. Hats off to them.
How they don't... I mean, we've heard Michael Cole lose his voice after 2 nights of Wrestlemania. How the fuck they kept going, I have no idea.
We need to talk to the Spanish announce team on how they keep their voices so from blowing out their voices all night. Because I could certainly use those tips. That's gonna be our quest for next year. Not only to finally, we got so close. We got within feet. British yards. There's no such thing as British yards. Hashtag British yards. Of interviewing former and future champion Jinder Mahal. Next year, I really feel like it's so close. It's so close. I feel we can do it, and I think it'll be an even better time because he's gonna be champion by then again.
Yeah,
I feel it. I can feel it.
Yeah.
I mean, who's gonna come and dethrone Cody Rhodes? Who better than Jinder?
Who better than Jinder?
No one. There's no one better than Jinder.
That's right.
So, hashtag we want Jinder. Hashtag Team Jinder. Hashtag Jinder versus Cody for the undisputed WWE Heavyweight Championship of the world. Undisputed Universal Championship of the world.
Whatever the fuck they're calling it these days.
Referees Adrian Butler, Chip Danning, Dallas Irving, Derek Sanders, Felix Fernandez, Jerry Marcus, and the pre-show panel, Megan Moran, Sam Roberts, Ariana Grace, and Ridge Holland.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, look at him.
Got involved in the first match.
Look at him blurring the lines of kayfabe like a boss.
So I mean, Joe Gacy and Sean Spears was the pre-show match and started the whole fucking weekend, really.
Yeah. What a way to start that weekend.
Yeah, a decent match, and obviously Ridge Holland gets involved before the match and attacks Joe Gacy with a chair. And obviously Sean Spears kind of running his gimmick with trying to bring the bad out of people.
Yeah, so
that runs true there.
Yeah, good storyline. It's a storyline match. Joe Gacy wins in 9 minutes and 4 seconds, and the story continues. Stories that I want to know more about.
Yeah. Baron Corbin and Bron Breakker, the Wolf Dogs.
I love the Wolf Dogs so much. Yeah.
Defeated Axiom and Nathan Frazier.
11 minutes and 22 seconds.
Only to lose the tag team championships on NXT this past week to Axiom and Nathan Frazier.
They definitely deserve it. I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad they didn't win here, though.
There's obviously Bron Breakker's signed to SmackDown, but I really kind of want them to bring Baron Corbin up with him and have them as a tag team for a while.
A lot of people do. A lot of people do.
And I think if you bring up Baron Corbin to the main roster again without Braun, he'll just get naturally booed because
think
it's Baron Corbin. If you bring him up with Bron Breakker, I feel like you'll get over that new character that he has quite well.
Well, I think
this is it.
And I think they're gonna give it a little breathing room. They're not gonna do it right away.
Yeah,
I think they're gonna give Baron Corbin a couple of weeks, maybe a month. Like what?
Yeah,
you know, something.
Have Bron Breakker maybe get in a feud with. You know, it'd be perfect. Bron Breakker could get in like a bit of a feud with the Pretty Deadly.
Yeah,
and they could like just be a thorn in his side for a couple of
anybody
weeks.
or fucking we'll get to it. Or new tag team, new SmackDown tag team champions.
Yeah, oh, that would be even better.
You know?
You're right. That would be even better.
They've all got history. Yeah, so it was
exactly.
That was a great fucking match. I'm glad to see the Wolf Dogs get it. Yep. It's great for Baron Corbin and Bron Breakker. It gives them a big championship victory. Going in and coming out as champions was a great moment for both of them. They deserved it, and good for Axiom and Nathan Frazier now for carrying it torch. It's going to be great to see.
And obviously, and that was looking at the card. Probably the match I think was the match of the night. Actually, I actually really enjoyed that.
That was one of the matches of the night for me. Yeah, the next match, the triple threat.
But maybe the next match because that match is fucking great.
Obafemi is so. Just call him Overfemi. He is Overfemi.
But all the guys in this triple threat, man, they did some stuff in this triple threat I've never even seen before. So
three giant dudes, big fucking dudes wrestling. It was,
but then also doing things that big dudes shouldn't.
They shouldn't be doing. Yeah. Watch it. We're not going to go into it because we don't have time. It's 15
Obafemi
15
defeated
minutes.
Dijak and Josh Briggs. Yeah, in 15 minutes, North American Championship. What a fucking match!
Fantastic.
Yeah, just if you haven't seen NXT. And you know, just definitely watch that match at the very, very least. It's a bit of a dark horse of the whole weekend.
The next match I specifically did want to talk about because this 6-women tag match was not at all what I was expecting. I was instantly a little bit. I was instantly a little bit disappointed at the thought of either one of the 6-women tag matches over the weekend, and I'm so happy that both of them proved me so wrong. This one especially because literally weeks ago talked about how I didn't know who any of these people were.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell any of them apart yet, and this match giving them this was the difference. They gave them 11 minutes and 41 seconds. It wasn't a 3-minute match.
It wasn't a quick match, no. Yeah. And it didn't feel, 11 minutes isn't a lot, but it felt like a long time. They really made the most of the time, yeah. Yeah, exactly. They all got themselves over in this, and that's what matches like this are for.
Yeah.
Getting 6 women or 8 women, I guess, effectively over. Speaking of women, you got Roxanne Perez defeating Lyra Valkyria by submission.
Both of NXT superstars that we got to interview over the weekend, which again, incredible, so much to go into.
We'll get into that later.
Amazing, amazing match, amazing people. 16 minutes, 19 seconds. Roxanne Perez is champion again.
And the third woman to be a 2-time women's champion as well. So that's pretty cool. We got Ilya Dragunov versus Tony D'Angelo.
Holy shit, what a great match.
Great match. I before this, like, I'm not saying I don't like Tony D'Angelo. I do. I'm not overly sold on him. I think the gimmick can be a bit hokey at times, and I love hokey gimmicks.
Yeah,
you know that. But this one, it's just sometimes is a little far-fetched. Because you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the FBI. Remember the Full-Blooded Italians?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, it does.
And they were just nothing but a comedy gimmick, and it's trying to take that gimmick and make it more serious.
Yeah, and I think that, and I do think they are. I think they're in the process of moving that direction.
Yeah,
that the family is not going to last forever. Either in NXT or certainly moving forwards.
You know what, Tony D'Angelo's character oozes 2006, like Kenzo Suzuki, Rene Dupree era.
But you know who he is so fucking close to being is 2024's Razor Ramon. Like,
yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right.
He's so close. He's really fucking close.
I almost feel like Tony D'Angelo would be better by himself.
He will.
In fact,
he will be.
Saying that, when he was by himself during the start of NXT 2.0, that's probably when I got into him the most. And I feel like with this whole faction family thing, I just it's lost its way with me.
I think you're right in that it is time to move on.
Yeah.
It certainly helped elevate him. It's definitely elevated everyone that's been involved.
It's given him an exposure, and it's given him, like, he's had a tag team title run, and he's been in contention for the North American and an NXT championship. So, and they were
NXT's bloodline. They were NXT's mini bloodline kind of thing. And,
for sure.
And of course they're working it out. What's great to see is the progression.
Yeah, but the match was really good. I enjoyed the match. Dragunov getting the win was the best decision here.
Yeah, and I did not, there were several times where I did not know which way it was going to go.
Yeah, for sure.
It would have been, that's the other thing. It would have been, Tony D'Angelo made such a good, they had such a good match that it would have been absolutely believable and acceptable for him to have won.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And then the main event
everybody was here for.
Yeah, and Trick Williams versus Carmelo Hayes, and obviously Trick Williams gets the win, and I won't go into results. Obviously, it's only yesterday, but because I've already spoiled one match, but Trick Williams does face Carmelo Hayes in a cage match on NXT this week.
I'm looking forward to watching that. I gotta say, I'm a little ashamed of myself that I didn't watch it last night.
It's been difficult to. I mean, we inhaled, whatever. Yeah. We took in a lot of professional wrestling last week.
Yeah, we absorbed.
Yeah,
we osmosis.
We osmosis. Osmosisized.
Osmosized. That's not a real thing, but maybe.
That sounds like it could be.
Could be. We'll make it #osmosized.
#osmosized. There you go.
If you want it to be a thing, you got to make it a thing. That's all.
There you go. We just made a word.
Fuck it, make it a thing.
But we did indeed osmosize a lot of wrestling last week.
Make it a thing. Hold on, I got to get my book back. I wasn't even writing these down.
I've managed to keep up somehow. So, and I finished Raw today because I didn't quite finish it the other day. So, but yeah, Trick Williams won. Definitely the right person to win here, because Trick Williams is just over as all hell right now. So Carmelo Hayes is over as a heel, and this does wonders for Trick. So I can see both of them. If not, well, I can see Trick hopefully winning the title from Dragunov. I think that would be the way to go. And then Carmelo Hayes going up and Dragunov coming up, and obviously Dragunov was on Raw last week with the NXT Championship as well, which is pretty cool. So I get and Roxanne Perez, so that was pretty unique and pretty cool for them to do that.
A great showcase for both of them.
Yeah, just gives them a bit of exposure to maybe an audience that wouldn't normally, especially being the Raw after Wrestlemania. Like, that's great. That's great advertising, in fact, for NXT.
Of course.
There's so many people that are going to be watching.
And because there are still people, there are, I mean, who knows how many thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands or even millions of people started watching the night after WrestleMania.
Right, exactly.
They don't have Fuck Peacock. They or the wonderful WWE network everywhere else in the world except here. Fuck.
Yep.
Fucking get your fucking shit together, WWE and TKO. Come on, Rock. Get the fuck out of the ring and go get all the shit organized.
Get off Peacock. Get on Netflix if that's the way you're going.
Everything. Just get the fuck everything. Go buy Netflix. Have TKO buy Netflix. Put everything there. Own it all again. the way it should have been. I mean, bottom line, the WWE Network itself, when it started, was amazing. That it was the best it was,
and it still is.
Mm-hmm.
I promise you.
Everywhere except here because of fuck Peacock.
Yeah, that's right.
I get it. I know they had to do
it. It sucked while I was out there. I wanted to go on the network, and I couldn't because I was in America.
Right? How awkward was it? But I will say this: I'm sure it was the right move because I also sure that just
it's
by
probably
being
gained
a part
them
of
a lot of fans.
It gained people who already had Peacock are just immediately have free access to.
And I tell you what, actually, like being that in
People
the last
checked it
6
out.
months that wrestling has boomed, it definitely helps them being on a surface that people didn't have to go out their way to subscribe to. They probably
Yes.
already had Peacock to begin with,
Yeah.
so they were like, cool, this wrestling thing looks pretty cool right now. I'm going to check it out. And we'll get into that. I want to get into the exposure of wrestling after we finish the card, because I've got a few things that are on my mind.
Well, that's the end. Well, that is the end of the card.
Yeah.
That's the end of NXT's card.
No, the end of WrestleMania card.
Yeah, all right.
We'll start right now,
Yeah.
which is night one, Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch for the Women's World Championship. Rhea Ripley comes out on top, but Mummy's always on top.
Always on top.
I will say this fact right now because I realized this.
Oh, wait.
Like, what's that?
We'll go back. Hold on. We didn't do the on-screen personnel yet for Saturday.
Oh yeah, go ahead. That's your role.
English commentators Michael Cole, Corey Graves, and Pat McAfee. Spanish commentators.
What a job they did.
Holy shit, man. They were amazing.
Yeah.
Spanish commentators Marcelo Rodriguez and Jerry Soto. Ring announcer Samantha Irvin. If you say
my God.
anyone who says anything bad about Samantha Irvin,
They're wrong.
They're wrong. You'll be instantly blocked, banned, reported as.
She is. I mean, if you. Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
man. If you didn't think she was an incredible ring announcer before WrestleMania, you're an idiot.
I'm sorry.
If you don't
you're
think
just,
it now.
You're just wrong. Be wrong.
Yeah. If you don't think it
wrong.
now, then.
You can think what you think, but you're wrong.
If you don't think it now, then. Jesus Christ. Like. She's incredible.
Yeah.
The call that she did for the main event with Cody winning. Jesus Christ, man! Like we'll get to the main event later and about that. But
because we still got referees Danilo Amphibio,
right.
Jason Ayers, Sean Bennett, Jessica Carr, Daphne LaShawn, Eddie Ortega, Chad Patton, and Rod Zapata. Interviews by Caleb Braxton, Kathy Kelly, and Byron Saxton with the pre-show panel featuring Jackie Redmond, CM Punk, Big E, and Wade Barrett, and the pre-show correspondents Megan Morant and Tom Rinaldi. Now back to
the card, which is Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch. Rhea Ripley comes out on top for the Women's World Championship, but then she has to vacate the title on Monday Night Raw on Monday. They're just gone, which is really unfortunate.
We had they had a
celebration.
They had a nice celebration.
Yeah, celebration the night after. But the fact I was about to state, and I'm sure this will be brought up at some point on programming.
17 minutes and 5 seconds the match was, by the way.
Very good. Every single person that went into WrestleMania as champion lost their championship bar one guy, and that's Logan Paul. And now Logan Paul is the longest reigning champion in the WWE currently.
The current longest reigning champion?
Yeah, because everyone won their championship at WrestleMania, or Rhea Ripley lost her, gave hers up. So therefore, right now,
current champions. He is
the longest reigning champion.
He is currently the longest reigning champion in WWE. Fuck yeah, man! Logan Paul getting more shine.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Speaking of awesome, this next match, the 6-pack tag team ladder match for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. Two things were awesome about this match. One, the match, and two, my prediction was so spot on.
Man.
I listened back to my prediction yesterday.
Fucking star.
I said that A-Town Down Under would win the SmackDown Championships. I said Awesome Truth would win the Raw Tag Team Championships, and I said that R-Truth would grab them because Triple H would want him to get his WrestleMania moment. Then go to watch Raw from this past week, and Triple H congratulated R-Truth because he had his WrestleMania moment.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was like,
Yep.
Come on.
And
then
it had to go in that order. It had to go in that order too for
right.
it to end the match with them.
Exactly. And then who wins the number one contendership?
DIY,
who I said would get the number one contendership and likely beat the Awesome Truth. And if that happens, then I am some sort of clairvoyant.
Dude,
basically.
No, it's just further proof that Triple H.
Triple H is tapping our lines.
Triple H has been tapping our lines. For those of you just joining, the podcast, Triple H has been tapping our lines for some time now. We know this to be absolute fact due to every single time we say anything that we think should happen. It damn near, and this a perfect example. To the goddamn letter, it happened, and it couldn't happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on. We're on. We don't have the finger on the pulse of the industry. We are the pulse. We are the pulse. We are the pulse of this industry.
Hashtag pump pump pump.
Hashtag pump pump pump. Hashtag we are the pulse.
The Pulse sounds like a terrible faction name from 2011.
And there would be like 3 L's in it too.
Yeah. Pop the Pulse.
The Pulse. Yeah. 17 minutes and 25 seconds of tag team ladder match glory. Everybody,
so good.
Everybody did
a thing.
Everybody
did it well.
Everybody did it. It's awesome. I mean,
what do you think of the new championships? I know you're a big fan of the old ones, but what do you think of the new design?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's okay. It's okay. I see that they're making it match the world champion
that's
theme.
Definitely what they're trying to do there. Yeah,
but they left it round. That's the problem. They left it round. The world titles have a different shape from the WWE titles. It's still the same shape now.
I really like them. I think they look really cool. I'm looking forward to seeing.
They are. They're cool. They are cool. I'm looking forward to
seeing. So I guess obviously, like they used to, the ones on Raw will be known as the World Tag Team Championships, and the ones on SmackDown will be known as the WWE Tag Team Championships. Yeah. Right. And then I'm looking forward to seeing what those ones look like, because if they're going to reflect the look of the WWE Championship with the big WWE logo, that might be interesting. So I'm sure on Friday this week they'll be revealed.
Here's how we're going to know. Here's how we're really going to know that we're being tapped.
Right.
Let's see them now. If they change the women's tag titles, if they give the women's tag titles an updated look and make them round as well, so that they are unique to themselves, but also the same shape as the other tag team titles, giving them the same weight and value.
Yeah.
Then I'll see. Then we know. Then we know we're right. Then we know we're still the pulse. Then we know this was just. Yeah. This was an unexpected shift because I was looking at it I was looking at it from a Raw SmackDown angle. Let's see what they do. Let's see what they go from here, because also I'm not a fan of the women's tag team titles right now. I'm not a fan of them at all.
Yeah, that's fair.
So,
moving on, we did our predictions episode last week, and at that time, because we recorded before SmackDown, it was originally Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar and Dirty Dom. But just that match changed to Rey Mysterio and Andrade versus Santos Escobar.
And just like we said, I mean, no offense to Dragon Lee. I think this will be great for his heel turn.
Yeah.
But I think this was what we wanted, and we told Hunter to give it all he wanted.
I mean, again, the Pulse. I mean, you heard that we were talking about Dragon Lee, and we didn't get Dragon Lee.
And he gave me what I want.
Yeah, he gave you what you wanted.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was okay. I'm really surprised Ray and am I? I'm surprised Ray pinned Dom again, but it doesn't do anything bad for Dom. Like, Dom's at Wrestlemania again, and he's just a fucking heel, and nothing's gonna change that. What you could do great now is, like, I don't know, something could happen with the Judgment Day where they've always been a team where there's no clear leader, but now Rhea's gone. Damien could take lead of the Judgment Day,
absolutely,
and
because he's the
put
champion.
And pull it in a direction that when Rhea Ripley returns, she'll be like, "What the fuck have you done here? Like, why is this now like a dictatorship when it was always like also like an equal playing field?"
Well, not only that, then you can finally have the power struggle between Damian Priest and Finn Balor that that we all want to see. Like, it's going to be amazing. God,
by the way,
anyway, we're not even
there yet.
Another
thing, we're not even there yet, but I'll really quickly say as well, in the WWE right now, because of Tama Tonga debuting on SmackDown last week, we have every original member of the Bullet Club in the WWE right now. The original 5.
Oh, would you look at that?
Yeah, that's wild.
Would you look at that?
So that's a thing that you can get to at some point down the line, but we'll get to again. Let's touch that Tama Tonga. That's another thing.
Let's talk. Yeah, we're talking 45. We're talking WrestleMania 45.
Yeah, but speaking of bloodline issues,
let's think.
Jimmy versus Jay.
Yeah.
Now I've seen this match get a lot of shit for the last few weeks.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's. Yeah.
I no, don't get me wrong. Was it the greatest match of the weekend? No. Was it the best match of all time? No. But I really enjoyed the match.
Yeah.
I really fucking enjoyed the match, and I thought it was great. I thought it was great. It was fun. And the right Russo won. So.
And the correct Russo won. Yeah, I think we both called that one.
Yeah, I think we did. I don't know what it is. I keep saying it every week. Jey Uso. I think Jey Uso is my favorite wrestler right now. I don't know why. Just something's gravitating me towards him. Yeah, like he's putting me in. I don't know what it is. I'm completely you know how sold I am on Jey Uso. On my lunch break today, I purchased a white Yeet t-shirt. That's how in I am with Jey Uso right now.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Shout out to merch. I got the 3 things. I got the 3 things I most wanted. I got my side plates. I got my program, and I got my T-shirt. So
there you go. I got my hoodie. I got my program that I wanted, and so when I went to Raw, I was gonna get the Yeet T-shirt, and the queue was just too long. So I.
The queue was no Yeet.
You took the words out of my name. That's right. You took the words out of my mouth. The queue was no Yeet.
Speaking of hoodies, shout out to your Stone Cold hoodie that got shouted out and featured.
Well, it's actually a Stone Cold baseball T-shirt that was over the top of a hoodie.
But shout out to that getting perfect timing as we were running up the Rocky steps in front of Simon Miller recording for What Culture.
Yeah. We need to upload that. I will upload that at some point.
Yeah, that was Thursday?
That was Thursday.
Wednesday, yeah. Thursday. Yeah, that was.
It was Thursday.
That was Thursday after we went after we stopped in to have our first tour of the Eastern State Penitentiary.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Man, what a whirlwind.
We were out doing Philly things in Philly.
Doing Philly things in Philly. Hashtag doing Philly things in Philly. There we go. That's jumping to the top.
That's a good one.
Next,
we have Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, Naomi versus Damage Control. Dakota Kai, Asuka, and Kairi Sane. Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, Naomi. I think they've called themselves the Big Three. Their entrance was fucking phenomenal. Like, so good. Like superheroes, man. They're just. What a force, a trio to be reckoned with right there.
And we were one of 10 groups.
One of 10 and the fourth of 10.
The fourth of 10 outlets that had the ability to interview Jade Cargill during the WWE press events. Thanks again to 2K Games, our friends at 2K Games. Thanks to Snickers. just for being a sponsor, because they show up in the banner behind most of the interviews we do.
Yeah.
And even the ones that weren't in front of a Snickers interview banner, shout out to Snickers for them too. I've also got my Slim Jim here. We're shouting out all of the sponsors of WWE and totally not official sponsors of the podcast.
Totally not, but they were represented at the 2K stand.
We totally were, yeah.
Yeah, we got our hands on a shitload of
Slim Jim, C4 Energy. We got all the C4 Energy we could our hearts could handle before having to go to the hospital. Thanks. I think. Thanks to.
I think that's about it. I think so.
There's also Prime. There's Prime.
There's Prime.
You don't want to mix the Prime Energy with C4 Energy. You want to get the Prime hydration water.
But this match, it was for the shortest match of night one, shortest match of the weekend. No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Well,
but technically shortest announced match. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it was good. It was good. I can't really remember too much of it, but
showcase.
It was bad. It was just a good show. It was a great showcase.
It was a showcase match that is the way a showcase match is supposed to be.
Yeah, right, exactly. This pay-per-view or PLE was going at a steady 90 miles per hour, and then the next two matches took it way up to 100 because Sami Zayn versus Gunther was a banger. Really good shit for Sami Zayn.
Really good.
And then
really
obviously we've ended up in this story with him and Chad Gable, which is getting Gable loads of exposure. Their match on Raw was so fucking good this past week. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it.
And that heel turn we all knew was coming.
Oh yeah,
fucking!
And they left it to the very last second because they
ripped him away from his own wife.
Yeah, good shit.
Fuck, man. There is nothing more dastardly that you could possibly have done.
Yeah.
Like, God, so wonderful.
It was good. It was so good.
This is what I love seeing. I mentioned it on Threads. I forget who we were talking about. The Liv Morgan. I want to talk. We'll bring up Liv Morgan too, because she's in this now too, where their characters, their characters, their backstories, and their reasons for their actions are very nuanced now. Like we saw it with Drew. We saw, and we're seeing it with Liv Morgan especially too. There's all of these people. There's these righteous virtues that these characters all have for themselves, and it's morally ambiguous at times. But like, man, it's wonderful. It's wonderful how these turns are just, they're not just, well, I want the title, so now I'm a bad guy.
Yeah. We've said this now for a while. Like, the level of storytelling we're at this point is so intricate and so you're being rewarded for paying attention.
Dude, I would go out on a limb and say that this era of professional wrestling is probably going to see the biggest boom in like males seeking therapy. Because it's this, you watch it and you can't not be affected by the emotional level of these stories now.
I mean, the main event alone we'll get to in a bit, but Jesus Christ.
Before you get to that, let's get to the second longest match in WrestleMania history, only second to a 60-minute Iron Man match.
That's right. So the longest standard match, I guess you could call it, because it was just a tag team match.
It was just a tag team. It was a standard tag team match.
You could definitely say it was the longest tag team match in WrestleMania.
The longest tag team match, probably the longest maybe the longest tag team match in WWE history. I don't know.
Potentially, yeah, we'd have to look into that. But
probably not. There's probably been some 60-minute time limit draws for something. Yeah, maybe. But whatever, it's still the longest in WrestleMania. It's still a fucking amazing match. God, we got everything we wanted.
I mean, goddamn, I just this match seems like after being there for the main event of night 2, like this match seems like such a distant memory in my mind.
Right? It feels like an entire year went by in that
24
day.
hours. Yeah.
Like
but
fucking Lost in the Far Realm.
Yeah. But it was a fucking excellent match. I mean, The Rock's first match in what, I think 10 or 12 years or something like that. And like I was skeptical. I did think The Rock would not get involved in this match much. I thought he'd get gassed really early because he did with his match at John Cena, Wrestlemania 29. But yeah, I mean, like this match was great. It had so many moving parts to it, and you know, to have the bloodline. I mean, The Rock's entrance alone is worth just watching again. Like I need to watch that again. Actually, I need to watch this whole match again. Well, Bloodline wins, so going into night 2 was Bloodline rules for the main event.
Yep.
So we were obviously in attendance for night 2. I'm still. It's been 2 weeks, well, a week and a half since we were there, and I'm still processing.
It happened.
The fact I was there.
while you're still processing it, the on-screen personnel for Sunday. English commentators are Michael Cole, Corey Graves, and Pat McAfee, with CM Punk in the opening match and Snoop Dogg for the Philadelphia Street Fight. Once again, Spanish commentators Marcelo Rodriguez and Jerry Soto. Ring announcer Samantha Irvin. Referees Danilo Amphibio, Bubba Ray Dudley for the Philadelphia Street Fight. Dan Engler, Eddie Orengo. Wow, I get it wrong almost every time. I'm sorry, Eddie, man. I'll get one of these days. Eddie Orengo. Charles Robinson, Ryan Tran, and Rod Zapata. Interviewers Caleb Braxton, Kathy Kelly, Peter Rosenberg, and Byron Saxton. Pre-show panel, Jackie Redmond, Biggie Wade Barrett, and JBL, John Bradshaw Layfield. With the pre-show correspondents, Megan Moran and Tom Rinaldi. Pretty much the same as night 1, except with a couple extra people doing extra stuff. I just wanted to say it again like that because it's really fun.
Why not? It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Oh shit! My chair's got stuck. Oh, there we go. We had Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship in the first match. This match in general was a lot of fun. With Drew getting the win, and look, Damian Priest cashes in. We know that, but it gave Drew his moment, and you could really see it on his face.
Nobody knew it at the time, even though we called it, even though we all were saying it, even though we were all thinking it beforehand. In the moment. Yeah. In the moment, I totally forgot.
To be honest with you, you do. When you're at home, you've got a bit more time to just think about, this could happen. But when you're there in person, it's like we're watching it happen in front of you. You're like,
and when you're that close too.
Yeah, exactly. Like you see Drew,
we got real lucky. We got
very lucky.
We were very very thankful
but
for that.
You see Drew's reaction, and you could tell that win meant a lot to him after obviously having his win behind closed doors in 2020, like to no one. He finally got that big win in front of a crowd, and the crowd gave him his flowers.
Absolutely,
absolutely,
because we all know, even though Drew McIntyre is a heel character at the time, Drew McIntyre the person it deserves this and should be rewarded. Like this is the beauty of this era where we can reward the people for playing bad characters really well.
Well, we can just reward people for putting in good work.
Yeah.
And I'll quickly mention this now. I was watching
and still hate him and still fucking hate him.
Yeah, and then the next night on Raw, you can just continue to boo him. But I was watching. I'll bring this up now because it's fresh in my mind, and this is kind of something I was going to bring up at the end anyway. But it's generally my general fan experience from this whole weekend, and I was listening to The Undertaker's podcast. They're only on episode 6.
Oh shit!
So they made it past the 5, so they're doing well there.
Well, they had, but they're not in the top 1% yet until
they're
it gets
not in
to
top
21.
1% region yet. Yeah, that's right.
No, you're not a top 1% podcast yet, Undertaker. Come on, step it up.
So they on that episode, it's him and a guy. I don't know who the other guy is, but he's the guy that kind of hosts the podcast along with Taker.
He's a guy like us.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So how the fuck am I on a podcast with the Undertaker?
But they what he talks about in that is that he was at WWE World with his wife, and he was walking around, and he's a big sports fan, this guy, and he goes to a lot of NFL games and things like that. And I think I did mention this as well with my relation to football or soccer for you guys. And like he did mention that like one thing he noticed when he was in WWE World and at Wrestlemania is that the WWE or wrestling fan base is it's the only sport, and I'm going to call it a fucking sport because it is a sport.
Yeah.
It's the only sport in the world where you can support two different teams, but you haven't got to be sitting in different places in an arena or a stadium. You don't separate people by what team they support. You don't have to worry about police being in the middle of them to make sure there's no riots or anything. Because what the great thing is, and as he said, I noticed this while I was there too. Like, you got Roman Reigns fans, and they'll walk around WWE World, and they'll see a guy in a Cody Rhodes t-shirt or dressed as Cody Rhodes, and they'll go up to him and put their ones in the air, and they'll have like this little moment, and then they'll like laugh, fist bump, and say, have a good weekend. It's like these two guys are on the two different sides of this story. One wants Roman to win, one wants Cody to win. But like you and me, you wanted Roman to win, I wanted Cody to win, but we went to Wrestlemania together. And that's the beautiful thing about professional wrestling. It's like, we all know, we're in on it. We all know it's scripted, especially in 2024.
Season 1, RW wanted Roman Reigns to win. You know, season two, obviously knew it all along.
That Cody was going to win. Yeah,
of course. I turned to you at the moment that it happened, and I'm like, "See, I told you I knew it all along," and you're like, "Fuck you."
But it's just a beautiful thing. It's just like you were saying that, you know, like, we can, as a fan base, we all want the same thing. We don't care who wins or loses. We just want to be entertained.
You know what
and
I
at
want?
the end of the day, we were all there to be entertained, and that's exactly what we got. And Drew McIntyre winning, we all knew in that stadium, this means a lot to this guy. Yeah. Give him his flowers right now. He deserves it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, fucking, it just makes me all warm and fuzzy in my tum-tum, basically.
It sure does.
But then, Damian Priest cashes in and ends that.
A minute later, we'll see.
Build all that up to take it away.
And once again, they're prepping you. They're prepping you for these little intricacies in these storylines. Drew had his moment. He had it. He won, and then he instantly took his eye away from what he was supposed to. His hubris got in the way. His ego got in the way. He turned to CM Punk. He unnecessarily antagonized him. And look what happens. You take your eye off for a second, and you get dropped, hit with a freaking brace, and then you lose your title in 9 seconds to Damian Priest cashing in his Money in the Bank, and everybody going insane.
What's crazy is Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns both lost their championships because they gave in to temptation.
Yup. What does WWE do that's so great? They do it once, they get it right, they do it again even better.
And again, beautiful fucking storytelling. You know, especially with Roman and Seth. Like, that's a 10-year story you're telling right there.
Yeah.
And you're still fucking telling it.
It still has an impact. Yeah. So then we have the Pride. So up next is the Pride with against the Final Testament in the Philadelphia Street Fight, which I missed watching the entire thing because I thought I would have more time.
Well, don't worry. We kind of missed a lot of it too because during that match, a lot of people were standing up and they forgot to turn the screens back on.
Yes, I heard the turn the screens on chant.
Yeah, so didn't see much of that match either myself.
I'll go back and watch it because
I have to go back and watch it, but it seemed like a good bit of fun and there were weapons and ECW chants and everything you'd expect from a street fight.
Everybody got a little what they want, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody had a good time with that. No, it didn't need to end a feud. It literally didn't end the feud. It just continued a feud. It's another showcase. It's a showcase of what all these superstars, professional wrestlers can do.
Give away too much, but I will say that the Final Testament were on NXT this week. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. They did show up. I knew that. They showed up last week.
Oh, did they? Oh shit, I didn't even know that.
They did. They showed up. They showed up at last week's NXT. Yeah, good for them.
Oh, okay.
Fucking perfect idea. Like,
yeah,
great idea.
Next up, we had LA Knight versus AJ Styles.
Speaking of Slim Jims,
Speaking of Slim Jims,
I got my Slim Jim right here. We had so many Slim Jims.
Yeah, we had a lot. I mean, to be honest with you, I only had one. But I had my first ever Slim Jim.
You did. We have it on camera.
What better place than to have my first ever Slim Jim than at Wrestlemania?
Right before the LA Knight AJ Styles match.
Right.
I don't know that I should publicly say how many Slim Jims I had over the course of that weekend, because some people might actually get worried for my health. It might have been more than 7.
Fucking what, the long ones or the short ones? You definitely had some short ones.
Of both, like several varying sizes.
7 of varying sizes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a Savage Slim Jim when I went to band practice.
Oh man.
Monday.
You need to send me a picture of one of those, because I've never seen one.
We totally missed them. We didn't go to it. We didn't go anywhere that was selling them. I'll for the sake of the pod, I'll get another one.
And
forsaking my own health and heart. Probably shouldn't say that either. No, the recommended serving size. Serving size. Serving size is 1 stick for the monster size Slim Jim.
So you had 7.
Not the Savage size Slim Jim. The Savage, I think the Savage size Slim Jim is actually considered like 3 servings.
Yeah, probably. You can chew into that and then wrap it up and then go back to it later.
Which I have done. And we talked about, like we asked all of the WWE superstars that we interviewed about Savage Slim Jims. Slim Jims. LA Knight, AJ Styles, 12 minutes, 25 seconds of fucking rad professional wrestling. Like,
yeah, it was just, that was, like one of the only like matches not for a championship at this WrestleMania, apart from Jimmy and Jay, really. There were a few matches, but it was a good, it was just a bit of a grudge match. So, and it's giving LA Knight that big win on a WrestleMania stage, which he's never had.
Yeah.
So,
and
it was his first ever WrestleMania match in general. So good for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next up, we got Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens and Randy Orton for the U.S. Championship.
Yeah, the triple threat.
I said it while this match was happening in the stadium. I was like, I'm so happy with anyone winning this match.
Yeah.
And it would have been cool with me. And Logan Paul winning was totally cool with me.
It's so smart. It's just such a smart thing to do.
Yeah, and he won again, essentially without the brass knucks this time.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's good to see. I'm glad, I'll be looking forward to seeing where all this goes now, and who will eventually defeat him.
Who's coming up? I don't know. Who's coming up for that? I mean,
then we got Bayley versus Io Sky for the WWE Women's Championship, and Bayley finally getting her big win at WrestleMania, defeating Io Sky. Yeah, that was a great match, great moment. Even though in the stadium we kind of missed the end because some woman was asking us if we wanted a beer.
I know. It was an unexpected. It unexpectedly ended because, she's got some new tricks in her bag.
Yeah, the Rose Plant. Yeah.
Yeah, the Rose Plant is a new finisher for her.
Yeah.
I certainly, as you know, this has been historically accurate since forever. since
Yeah.
since the Comedians of Wrestling. I've been a vocal proponent of how much I love the Bailey to belly as her finisher, being the fact that Bailey is such a professional wrestler, so good at it, so good at hugging that she can make a belly to belly suplex devastating.
Right.
It's the way a Stone Cold Stunner is a stunner is a stunner. A Stone Cold Stunner is from Stone Cold. Kevin Owens doesn't do a Stone Cold Stunner. Kevin Owens does a stunner.
That's right.
Bailey does the Bailey to belly. Everybody else, it's a belly to belly suplex. Bailey does it's a Bailey to belly because Bailey's doing it.
Loads of people do the cutter, or like Cody Rhodes does like a springboard cutter, but only Randy Orton does the RKO.
Yeah, it's different. It's the subtle differences, the nuances of the character that are what really ties it together. And that's what I loved about it. Like I loved the fact that her finishing move was so directly tied to her character.
Yeah.
Bret Hart's sharpshooter, iconic, but the sharpshooter doesn't mean anything in the context of who Bret Hart was. It could have been Bret Hart with the ankle lock. It could have been Bret Hart with with anything. That was the move he picked for whatever reason. Man, I'm just so hyped up, man. I'm losing my voice again.
Well, here we go. So Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns
for
the
losing it.
Undisputed WWE Universal Championship in a Bloodline Rules match.
Talk about everything.
Like,
talk about it all.
What? I mean, so I hadn't and I've been dying to watch this back since we left, and
I did. This was the one thing that I watched back. I only the ending. I only the ending.
So I watched so on the train home from work today, back to home, I watched the two entrances, and I watched the ending of the match,
the culmination ending,
from where Jimmy Uso comes out.
And did everybody on the tube look at you and ask why you were crying, see if you were all right?
Well, two things. One, I was grinning from ear to ear the whole time. I was just like, I got like my hair stood on end multiple times.
Oh, so they probably thought you were watching porn.
Yeah, probably. To me, it kind of was porn. And then when Cody wins, I'm every single time I
stood
watch
up.
it.
You stood up.
I stood up. Yeah,
you stood up. On the train?
I do. I get tears in my eyes, man. Like, and you know what it is? It's two things. It's one. It is the culmination of this story, and it meaning so much.
Yeah.
And two, it's like
there was never any doubt that he was gonna win.
Yeah.
Despite what I would have said.
Despite me. And the other thing is that I finished my story as well. I was at WrestleMania. Like, I finally got there.
You finished, man. And you got there and you did things beyond your wildest dreams.
Imaginational dreams,
in the process.
And so this WrestleMania, I mean, if I had watched this from home and like I normally would have done, it would have been... And this is the thing. I've spoken to multiple people, and by all accounts, this WrestleMania has broken a lot of records, and that sometimes can mean jack shit. But what actually I'm hearing and seeing from most people that saw this WrestleMania, a lot of people are saying it was probably the best WrestleMania of all time. And it feels so weird to say that because I was there, and it feels so like cliche to say the one I was there for was the greatest WrestleMania of all time, but it kind of was. But yeah, I mean, this match will always go down, like, this match generally will go down as the ending of this match will go down as one of the greatest WrestleMania moments of all time. It will forever. We saw a WrestleMania moment happen right in front of our eyes.
Legendary. Literally legendary. This is on par with this is exceeds Hogan versus Andre in a sense. Like this exceeds Hogan versus Warrior, title for title. This exceeds Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker.
Yeah.
This exceeds
this match
everything.
And the moment of Cody winning this match is going to be spoken about up there in the top 10, top 5 WrestleMania moments of all time.
Top 2.
Yeah,
Top 2.
It's yeah.
You someone may be able to try to make an argument for another match, a certain other match.
Yeah, because for sure.
And you
because,
can make the argument, that this is the other argument. It's top 2. Like,
yeah,
you know.
it's just. I mean, it's super hard to contest against it. It's just the story told here.
Everything about it. Everything they
1,316-day reign came to an end. And it came to an end right in front of our fucking eyes.
Yeah.
And that is the coolest thing. That's so cool to be able to actually say that, right? We can say that we were there in person, watched it happen in front of our eyes. And only 72,000 odd people can actually say that they were there to see that happen. So,
yeah,
we were there for a magic moment, a moment that we've spoken about for years, and it is one of those moments when you're in your fucking 80s and you can tell people I was fucking there for that. Like, that's so cool.
Fucking phenomenal.
Getting to it, like the perfect end to a perfect story at the perfect WrestleMania, and it was. I mean, something that outside of everything else that we did this weekend, which we'll get into, I'm sure, but I'm blown away. I still don't have the words to describe it. I've come back to England and I've met with friends and people have asked me what it was like, and I still can't describe it. All I can do is show that fucking video of me when, you've got a video of me somewhere, like, reacting to something. I can't remember
I've got your reaction to the Undertaker.
Oh, you need to send that shit to me.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen that. But
it should be in the Google. I think if I didn't already, I'll put it up in the Google Drive.
All right, yeah, cool. But yeah, I mean, it's that video I filmed of Cody winning the match, and the fucking sounds that my mouth was making. I've never even heard myself make sounds like that before. Like, it would go down as, one of the best days of my fucking life, honestly. As a wrestling fan, I think any other wrestling fan would completely understand that. Like, it is, as being a wrestling fan for 25, 30 years, getting to an age where you realize, oh shit, I can actually go to that, and then you actually go.
Yep.
and I've done it. And I'm going to do it again.
Yeah, man. There is so much more to come for all of us here.
Yeah.
With this, in professional wrestling, with this podcast, there's so much more to talk about.
Oh yeah.
One thing we can't talk about is the events that transpired at the end of the last podcast, at the end of the
That's right.
At the end of the
there's a lot of things I'd like to say, but
the season closer, episode 34 of season 1. By the heavy suggestion of our independent special counsel Danny the Brain Bauman, we've signed an NDA, which basically we can't speak on those events yet. But
yeah, I got nothing to say.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to say. There's a lot I'd like to say.
There's a lot I'd like to say, but other than at this point, the state of the status, the status of the Punks Talk Wrestling Superior Intellect in All Things Professional Wrestling and Phil Collins Championship is up in the air at the moment. The match between the Proper Prick CJ Newman and the Anonymous Podcast Critic is indefinitely on hold due to.
All I will say is that it's a shame.
Due to the NBA.
It's just a shame.
Yeah.
And that's
what
I'm
had to sign. And the events that we can't talk about.
Right.
At some point, maybe we can. Hopefully by, maybe by SummerSlam. It would be super convenient if we were able to talk about it.
Yeah. But until then,
we'll
see. Hopefully, we'll see what comes of it. And I haven't really heard from the APC since the other week. So
I mean, I've seen them. I've seen them dancing around threads a little bit on other accounts. They're still a bit of a thorn, but they seem to be.
Yeah, well, Well,
maybe
maybe
we can't talk about it.
Let's not talk about it.
Yeah, let's not talk about it. How's about we don't talk about it?
How's about we don't talk about it?
Because
if we continue to talk about it, I'll say something I shouldn't.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we both will, and that would be against the MDA, and we don't want that. We wouldn't want that. We wouldn't want that for everyone, for all our listeners. We wouldn't want that for ourselves.
The other thing that, moving on swiftly, is that we probably should get into would be
how's about we talk about
how's about we talk about our little experience at 2K Games and the very wonderful opportunity that we got at the Wrestlemania weekend.
How's about we talk about it?
We were given a
Thanks, Al. We love you so much.
Thank you, Al.
Hope you're doing good with the launch of the golf, 2K golf right now. No, 2K tennis. I'm sorry, it's not golf. It's 2K tennis.
Top Spin. It's called Top.
It's called Top Spin. What's called Top
Spin? The tennis game. Top Spin 2K25.
Coming out next week, I guess. Is that for 2K Games?
Big thanks to 2K Games.
And WWE 2K24 available now on all platforms. It's the highest rated game in the franchise history for the Xbox. And they've got one of the DLCs another DLC is coming out May 15th. I got to double check which one.
DLC Pack 1 coming on May 15th is CM Punk, Bubba Ray Dudley, Devon Dudley, Sandman, Terry Funk. So
there you go.
A bit of an ECW DLC with a bit of CM Punk dashed in there.
He's got ECW connections and
he does actually.
Also,
we had a absolutely phenomenal weekend. We were given opportunities like no other, really. We ended up having the chance to interview 10 different WWE superstars, and
we rambled off that list. Yeah, we rambled off that list in the last episode. But in case you
missed it, I got it right here, right in front of me.
I got it here right in front of me too.
So we got R-Truth, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Shayna Baszler, Roxanne Perez, Lyra Valkyria, Greg Miller, Xavier Woods, Ivar, and Jade Cargill. Is who we interviewed.
The diamond of all interviews, Jade Cargill.
Yeah, since her debut in the WWE, she's not really had any interviews, to be honest, and we were one of the very first 10 to be able to actually interview her on Wrestlemania weekend. So I guess.
And that's thanks Al, thanks WWE 2K Games, thanks again all of the superstars, professional wrestlers that gave us a couple minutes of their time over the weekend. We're so grateful and thankful for that. It's truly remarkable. And I think we're gonna play one of those interviews on the podcast.
We'll try and play one every week, I guess.
I think we're definitely gonna space them out.
Space them out over the next.
We might supercut some things together because we pretty much asked them. We asked them all the same questions, pretty much.
So follow along on our Instagram at Punks Talk Wrestling. You'll find clips go up there, and obviously we filmed these interviews as well as obviously record them. So
yes, the Sir King of Reels will have more reels for you.
Go on there to keep up with that. But do you want to introduce our first interview?
Yeah, it's fucking Ivar
from the Viking Raiders.
And also Biker Ivar in NXT now. Fuck, let's just listen to it. I don't know how to intro these. We've never done this before. We're flying.
That's right.
We're flying by the seat of
our
our pants
without further ado, here's our interview.
Zero
with
ado.
The Viking Raider, Ivar.
Hey, what's going on?
Ivar, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
All right. All right, this is RW Hellborn with Punks Talk Wrestling, and I'm here with Ivar of the Viking Raiders.
You say Hellborn?
Hellborn. RW Hellborn. That's it. That's me.
I like it.
Quick fire questions. Do you have a pre and post match ritual?
Yeah, I mean, pre-match, it's warming up. I'm older now, so it's warming up. It's a lot of opening up my airways, making sure that my airways are clear to breathe. Make sure my hips, like I got kicks I got to do, like I got to make sure my hips are working. Like it's a process, but also what ends up being a pre-match ritual is putting my gear on. Because there's so much to put on.
You got a lot.
Yeah, the fur on the boots, the war belt, the shoulder fur, and the crown, and just everything. So there's a lot that goes on to getting ready. Face paint, a lot that goes on. And then afterwards, it's just riding that high. I just every time I go out there, it's a whole different kind of it's something you can't get from anything else. The high you get from wrestling a match, going out there and hitting a home run. And when you come back, I like to sit in that. I like to stay in that. I never know when the last match is going to be, so I want to make sure that I appreciate what I'm getting.
Awesome, sunk it all in. If you could come out one time to a WWE Legends entrance, Wrestlemania entrance, who would it be? Pyro and all.
Like a special entrance, or just like a?
Oh yeah. Any entrance that you.
So, I always love Triple H's. On the Conan Barbarian entrance, like that fits what the Viking Raiders are, so something like that would be special.
Awesome. Since we're in Philly, cheesesteaks or cheesecakes?
Oh, it's steaks. Yeah.
First album you remember buying as a kid?
First album I remember buying?
Yeah.
Oh man, this is going to be silly, but I bought, I heard, as a kid, I heard Green Jelly, Three Little Pigs, and I went out and I got that album. Green Jelly, man.
Can you give us what's your favorite punk rock or metal band?
Oh, I'm bad with band names because I like everything. So I don't know if I can answer that question.
I guess who's in your playlist, right, or who'd be top on your playlist right now then?
You'd be disgusted because I'm a '90s guy, so I just put '90s stuff on, and anything from the Spice Girls to Green Day and Metallica. So it all depends. You know what I mean?
Nice. Have you ever finished one of the Savage Slim Jims in one sitting?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, yeah, of course. Look at me.
Socks to bed, yes or no?
No.
If you could add a song to the WWE 2K24 playlist, what would it be?
Something good.
Give me one indie band or artist that you think everybody should check out. That somebody that might not be well known.
An indie band?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No.
I gotta pass on
Okay, that's all right. That's what we got, man.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
If you see Eric asking the band questions, he knows all of them.
All right.
All of them. He loves it. So.
Will do.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
No, thank you. Appreciate it.
Cool.
There it is.
So
there it was.
There it is. Yeah.
God damn. Ivar, follow him on his social medias.
Yeah, he's Ivar_WWE
Yep,
on Instagram.
He'll be tagged in everything as well.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, loads more to come. Again, thank you to 2K Games. Thank you to all the WWE superstars that gave us a little bit of their time and asked some ridiculous questions that we had for them.
WWE 2K Games, the highest rated game in franchise history, available now on Xbox and everything else. I think that they're available
on. And is there anything else?
We shouted out. Well, we did our shout outs to Snickers and Slim Jims and C4 and Prime, 2K Games and Al.
An Al.
All the superstars. We
and
did
Kaylee as well, actually. Kaylee from 2K UK.
And Kaylee from the 2K UK team.
Yeah, she was a big help.
Yeah,
she got me a couple of days too.
She got me coffee on Friday. That
yeah,
probably saved my sanity.
Yeah.
Follow us on social media, leave your reviews and all those things, Instagram and Threads, and sometimes TikTok and Facebook at Punks Talk Wrestling. Patreon.com/Punks Talk Wrestling, where you can donate $1 if you want, and tell us what you want us to do for that $1 a month. We'll
do pretty much anything for $1.
Pretty much. I mean, there's a lot of things we will do.
Yeah.
Talking about wrestling will be what it will be. Tell us what you want us to talk about.
Yeah.
We give
That's
preference.
about 80 pence in British sterling.
We give preferential treatment to people that give us money, and as that's the way it goes. That's how we can it's how we can justify continuing to do this to our partners.
Yeah, you know what? Shout out to our partners. I think we probably should, right? Because yeah, they put up with a lot of fucking professional wrestling over a 5-day period, and
they put up with a lot just in general, being
just around us. Yeah.
Especially with us together, like
physically together.
Together. Hashtag touch my flesh. Together in the same rooms. The intensity is like.
It's electric.
It's electric.
You can cut it with a knife.
You could cut the electricity with a knife.
With a knife.
However,
but don't do that with a metal knife. Preferably use
with a plastic that
plastic.
you could cut it with a metal knife, but you'll be electrocuted instantly by our essence. So don't try to stab us because you'll
shout out to our partners for having to watch a movie with subtitles because we were recording the podcast in the same
that
building.
was great. Yeah, we had
They sacrificed a lot.
Yeah, they sacrificed a good bit of their sanity. They sacrificed way more of their time than we deserve sometimes.
But they didn't have to watch the main event of Wrestlemania Night 2.
No, they did
off their own
fruition. They didn't have to, but they tuned in on their own.
Because they had to see. They
got so sucked in.
That's right. You couldn't not. There you go.
Yeah. So, shout out to them. They're gems.
That's right.
Next week's podcast.
Yeah.
What the fuck, man?
I don't know. You know what? We'll find out. I have no fucking
idea. We haven't planned anything
We've not planned
yet.
anything for the month of April.
We've been so tied up with things we can't talk about.
Yeah.
Due to MBAs and
due to the NBA.
Yeah, due to the NBA. Oh fuck! What else? No, I think that's it. I think we just kind of.
I think that's it. I think we just stop it right here now. Boom.